Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising, and Sagittarius moon people. This is your astrological forecast and card forecast for the week of October 17th, 2016. Quick reminder for you guys, the way the astrology works in these weekly horoscopes is to talk about the week and the energies of the week and daily trends of the week. So if you are looking for longer, broader seasonal changes, I highly recommend you check out the monthly horoscopes that I've got for you. In fact, I just put up November's yesterday, so that is all ready to go. So, what is on the table astrologically for you? Well, in the very beginnings of the week, kind of overnight, 16th, 17th, we've got a full moon in Aries in your 5th house of love and romance. And this is also going to be forming a very strong conjunction to Uranus, currently retrograde in this area. And this is actually a gorgeous opportunity for a lot of you Aries people to kind of take a chance on your love life with your partner, or possibly even with a new partner over the next few weeks, over, especially this week, but even the week following, that unfortunately we had to pass up for whatever reason, in the past. Because, with Uranus retrograde, Uranus, the planet of upheaval, wake-up calls, and big left turns, and spontaneity, going retrograde the way it does between August and December every year, it's always talking about, teaching everybody that, we can't always rely on the external, whether it be people or astrology for that matter, to do all the work for us. And when the full moon actually connects with this Uranus, though, we have a very rare second chance, and second chances are rare during a Uranus retrograde anyway, to actually go back and take something that we did accidentally walk away from or reject. Now, this could have been an opportunity for you and your partner, to maybe take a trip together, or do some kind of, big, some big project together. We just had to put that off. Or this could have been even, an old flame, or maybe even somebody that we maybe shouldn't have turned down as soon as we did. For those of you who are single, maybe we're going to get a second chance. We're going to see this person the right way. On Thursday, we have a bit of a clash going on at the workplace on the money front. We've got Mars, the planet of action and energy, forming a very, very strong conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. Now, this is all in your earned income sector, so this is on the job. And when we have Mars and Pluto connect, the word of the week is overkill. And this actually can indicate a very powerful and very profound victory to you, but at what cost? Because usually when Mars and Pluto get together, we have to make sure that even if we are succeeding, we are doing it graciously. There is a way to hurt our reputation by being a bad victor. This could actually be a way to, win over a competitor, to defeat or annihilate a competitor. This could also, however, indicate a fight or an altercation at the office over policy, possibly even with an authority figure, where we may kind of go a bit too far. And this energy is going to be, like, hitting the world all at large. Like, everything is going to be just amped up way too high. So maybe Thursday we should not have any kind of tense discussions, interviews, or requests, certainly not with authority figures or HR representatives. Again, the energy is just going to be a bit too high. However, it does spell a win. We just don't want to be seen as that person who won the wrong way. So what's going on with your cards this week? Well, we do have, for your spiritual advice, we've got the card of Before the Gathering in our little oracle deck here, and this card can actually indicate a wonderful opportunity for you to notice allies starting to accrue around you. Okay, we talk about Before the Gathering. When you think about Before the Gathering, I always like to think of some of those more epic types of war movies and fantasy movies, where it's kind of like everyone's gathering in, to kind of corral around and, and get ready to go in and, swoop in and take out the enemy. When you think about, like, Lord of the Rings and, big movies like that, the Before the Gathering card can, show up where We have unexpected allies showing up and offering their services to us, offering to actually take on burdens for us. And this would be a time to, again, maybe not fly it solo too hard. This is not the week to be overly individualistic. In fact, the more inclusive you are with others, the better. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we have the Chariot card upright. And the V word, victory, seems to be very strong for the Sagittarius people this week. And victory is what you shall have when it comes to the Chariot, especially for those of you seeking new work or, again, seeking to open new financial avenues to yourself. It's going to be extremely lucrative this week. You may even notice an opportunity to, again, compete or even score a promotion or new lucrative project. But again, be careful with the Chariot card because, again, we don't want to be seen as not an ungracious winner. This is definitely something you can seize and something that could either boost your popularity or hurt your popularity, depending on how you step up to the podium. Metaphorically speaking, of course. For your communications with air, we do have the Sun card upright. And this card usually indicates an opportunity for you and a friend or a relative to kind of create a new sanctuary. This could actually be a party or a gathering that suddenly turns into the new hangout or the new, weekly routine activity. The Sun card upright can also indicate great news coming from a friend or a relative about something going on in your group or in your family that you are entitled to share in. The Sun card shows up usually when we have an area where, it's time to take some downtime to enjoy the peace, to actually enjoy a good harvest, so to speak. And this might not even be your harvest, but it's yours to enjoy at the very least. So we've got great news so far this week. For your challenge this week, with fire, we have the Ace of Wands inverted. It's humorous. I find it humorous. You should find it humorous too. Because the Ace of Wands inverted, Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords inverted talks about, making sure that you are not abusing power, okay? And again, there can be temptation to abuse power. There can be a temptation to use and say too much with this card. Because usually the Ace of Swords inverted talks about when we are mishandling our own agenda or mishandling our own cause or our own priorities or where we might hurt our own cause. Sometimes this happens when people procrastinate too much or they put things off or again they leave too much up to chance or taking too passive an attitude, but sometimes as well it can be going in the opposite extreme. And remember, we're trying not to do polar extremes right now, or ever. Let's try and grow out of it entirely. But abuse of power or newfound power is, a temptation you definitely want to deny yourself. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Moon card upright. And this card might be a little bit shocking in the beginning. Not in a bad way, not in a scary way. But with the Moon card, we do see issues with illusions and things not being all they seem. Typically with the Moon card, for those of you who are single and looking, again, pay attention to where we might not be seeing somebody the way they deserve to be seen. Just because somebody gives off a certain first impression, that is not indicative of how they are. And sometimes what happens with the Moon card is we've got to make sure that we're not judging things based on the surface or based on our own past. Again, we already saw in the cards for you single, in the astrology for you single Sagittarian people, you may have an opportunity to retry something with somebody you should not have turned down. And this could also indicate, even with somebody new who just resembles that person, pay attention to where you might accidentally be focusing way too much on the first impression, because sometimes a good impression is an out-and-out lie, and a bad impression is just an innocent mistake. For those of you who are currently coupled, the Moon card can indicate you're noticing your partner kind of almost change personalities this week, but it's not in a scary way, it's not in a bad way, but it can be a little bit shocking when they start to act almost like a different person. Find out why this is happening. This could be, this probably has something to do with you, honestly, and I wouldn't make it about you either. This probably does have a little bit to do with either news of, going on in their own life, their work life, their family life, something that they want to try and solve on their own, but you know what, it might do them good to talk about it. So that is your forecast, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you would like to get a session from me, you can always follow links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.